Premier Jeremy Rockliff, back on King Island.
Yes, great to be back, Wade.
I know you love to come back.
I do.
2 days?
2 days, yes. Flew direct from Launceston yesterday, arrived about 8 o'clock, and we firstly visited the port, which was good. Had a bit of a tour of the John Digan. That'll be going away for 8 weeks to get a major facelift, if I can put it that way, and a few other things until September, October. And then we've done lots of things. It's been fantastic. We went from the port, visited the mine, and good to see that is going well, both in the price of tungsten globally, which is fantastic, which supports the further investment in the mine, which is great. I saw new equipment, better production, better throughput, which is terrific. And in June, expect to go underground and extract what is a very good grade of ore, if you like, and that's very positive, as is the King Island Dairy, which I visited just after that, and met with Nick and Jess and the team there. Good to see some new product lines coming on board, of course, some investment in packaging. I had a briefing on investment of the new dairy farms as well. Look forward to getting back and seeing that in the not too distant future. And then, of course, visited the local council, met with the mayor and deputy mayor, which was good, Marcus and Vernon, and the general manager Brian, about matters concerning them. Enjoyed the visit to the fire service and spoke to some SES volunteers and a volunteer fire brigade as well, and had a bit of a get together at the King Island Golf Club last night, which is great. So that was day one. And today, early trip out to Cape Wickham to have a look there. And then we went to meet some of the beef producers, which was great, and visit the local school, which is tremendous. Saw some upgrades to the teacher accommodation. There's 11 teacher residents on the island, of which 2 or 3 have been done up extremely well, which is great. So it attracts people to the islands, and added advantage, of course. The island sells itself, but it's nice that our teachers can be well accommodated. Had a great tour of the school with some wonderful students, and of course Matt Conn, who's doing a fantastic job. And I've just been to the local hospital to have a look around as well. So and visiting the aged care residents there and the wonderful staff. So it's been a very action-packed 2 days.
Well, let me start from the bottom down with the last one. Hospital, last year we spoke. Ambulance hub was going to be built starting September. Now, I can't remember if you mentioned the year, but what are we at?
Well, the tender should be completed. I mean, the site has been selected within the precinct of the hospital. Yeah. We've got the tender should be finalised by July, and completion in 2027.
But what happened in that year where you were sure that we were going to start last year in September, and it's almost a year later?
Yes, the tender process has taken a little longer than we had hoped.
That's very long.
Yes, it's too long, but that's the facts of the matter, and we do the best we can, and tender should be finalised very soon, and construction and completion within, of course, the next 12 months.
Now, your government has put a fair bit of money into King Island, which is, of course, appreciated. But look at the mine. Are the royalties starting to flow in now with the mine getting better? Because your government put a fair bit of money in it.
We provided a $10.5 million loan, of which we converted to equity, and then further support after that. And the price of tungsten's increased dramatically over the course of the last 12 months. So it's been a very good investment, a very wise investment.
Well, what about the royalties? Is that?
Well, yes, the royalties will naturally flow from that, from the mine's operations, and the royalties more broadly across other mines in Tasmania, as I understand it, have increased, which is positive. Yeah. But in terms of the mine itself, I mean, it's had some very challenging couple of years. We wore, once again, a lot of political criticism for why are we investing in the mine, and that was particularly from my direct political opponents. But we did it because we believed that the new people managing the mine could get it up and running, invest appropriately, improve the production systems. It's been, and that's happened. It's been very fortunate that the price globally has increased, and it's been a very wise investment, not only in terms of the equity of which we hold, but most importantly, it's now employing up to 90 people, as I understand it, and has a further life over the course of the next decade.
Oh, absolutely. You mentioned John Dugan going for a facelift. Now, you've had enough trouble with the TNT line, so I don't want to go that way, but you might remember 5-6 years ago that the whole idea was that the John Dugan and Bass Island line was a temporary solution till it would be handed over to a commercial entity. Then we talk about we can't find a commercial entity. Interestingly enough, there is a commercial entity now that has rescued, helped, in a way, Bass Island line and the John Dugan already a number of times, and is doing that again. Are we ever going to see a change there, or we just carry on as is?
We have a number of areas of shipping service which are providing input. The Bass Island line, in the case of the John Dugan, it's going for its 5-yearly major facelift, if I can call it that, which is very important. And the Investigator 2 will return online for that particular time to fill that very short gap, which will be about 8 weeks, as I understand it. But it's the security of the shipping is the most important, and while I receive feedback around is it exactly the right vessel for the type of operations and the run, given...
Well, it's been doing the job for a while.
But it's been doing it for a while, and we would have to look very seriously at the security of the shipping service. Should we commercialise it further? I believe that residents would keep a very close eye on that.
So what you're saying in a way is like a commercial entity can go broke, where with the Bass Island line and with the John Dugan, at least as a government, we control that and it will not go broke. So is that risk element, is that...
Well, that's a fair assessment, Wade. It really is. And, we would always look for opportunities and the security of a shipping service, and I still get mixed feedback about where it's going and lack of a northern run, if I could put it that way, and we always take that feedback on board well and truly. But in terms of the public investment in securing a shipping service, it's not perfect, it's good, and we'll keep our options open, no doubt, but for the time being, look forward to a newly reinvigorated John Dugan in the not-too-distant future.
Council, you met with the council. We have elections coming up a bit later this year, council elections. I know for a fact that we have a number of councillors here on the island that are going to retire, that are not going to stand again. Your government a while ago has suggested to bring council numbers down, like for King Island it would mean going from 9 to 5 councillors, which there has been objections against that because of a conflict of interest in a small place like this. I'm sure you're going to make that decision before the council elections, or the coming up the elections, that what's the number going to be? Are we going to go for the 5 on King Island, or are we going to find a middle way, 7? When do we hear about it?
Well, the most important thing is when it comes to a consultation on such legislation that we listen intently to the local community, to councillors themselves, and so there will be 7 councillors, so it'll be going from 9 to 7, not 9 to 5, and so we listen to that feedback, and so it'll be 7 councillors, or 7 positions for council standing in October this year. It comes around very quickly. I've enjoyed my interaction with the council, and can I say that, and I made this comment last night to a few people, post the pandemic up until now, irrespective of local, state or federal government, It's been a very challenging time to govern in many respects. The world circumstances, inflation, we have real challenges obviously with the recent Iran conflict that's impacted on prices of fuel, fertiliser, access to both, including of course the flow-on effects of fuel price, which is PVC, which if it's in high demand, if it's costly, then of course that impacts on housing development as well.
Could you be your government, state government? Could you be of any support when it say comes like farmers with all their fertiliser issues now and cost and with the Strait of Hormuz issues? Can the state government help there?
I've raised fertiliser security, predominantly urea, a couple of times at National Cabinet, and there is now a bit of a national plan with respect to fertiliser. For fuel, I was the first Premier and I think the only one to call for a fuel excise relief. Thankfully, and I'm pleased that the federal government agreed with that to support people's cost of living, and that supports King Islands. I recognise that while our free bus travel till the 1st of July supports many mainland Tasmanians, if I can put it that way, and the modal shift has increased some 20 to 30% from cars to public transport, which has been good. King Islanders can't access that, and so any bit extra we can do in terms of fuel excise and relieving that pressure, I believe, is good.
Well, you look at it. You look at the price difference. Say in mainland Tasmania, fuel price now in King Island is about 30 cents on average, which is fairly high, don't you think? So I don't know what we can do there.
Fuel is high, and I'm very mindful of the fact that Tasmania is an island off an island. King Island is an island off an island off an island, which does enhance, if you like, that further insecurity and cost pressures, as I know residents know, with all the inputs that they have, whether it be business or consumables.
Is it, you mentioned the word challenging. Look at the Liberal Party in general in other states, national. Could you say, well, Tasmania is lucky in a way, but Liberal, you're doing pretty fine, but is Liberal absolutely in a downward spiral at the moment?
Well, it comes and goes, and these
but it's a lot of going now.
In cycles, and I can't speak for my federal colleagues. It's a different set of circumstances. My focus is what our government is doing, and I'm recognising we're a minority Liberal government, but the most important thing is we are a government that listens to Tasmanians, listens to King Islanders and delivers. And when it comes to King Island, we listen, and I believe we've delivered to the best of our ability and delivered well, and that's the important matters. When it comes to governing, it's about listening to people, it's about responding to needs, making some, at times difficult decisions, but decisions in the best interests of the future of our population, and remaining very focused and centred on those objectives of ensuring we're growing in the economy and providing for a caring community.
You're not worried about the financial state of Tasmania?
I'm very mindful of the need to bring in a budget and a return to surplus as soon as possible, peak debt. We need to focus on ensuring we're managing our budget, investing so we can continue to have confidence and grow our economy, but also provide for a caring community as well. And so when it comes to the budget, this will be a tough budget. It'll be a very difficult budget, and I say that because of the global environment that we are now in. These are uncertain times, and that impacts on our decision making. We have to be very mindful of that uncertainty and create an environment to provide as much certainty as we can provide for the economy, and indeed ensure that our services that Tasmanians and King Islanders quite rightly deserve and expect are delivered.
But realistically, you mentioned the global situation, which I understand. If you look at the blowout with the TNT line, for example, that's nothing to do with global. That is within the state, isn't it? The global situation hasn't got an impact on TNT line, has it?
Except I have to say that when it comes to that investment, which is essentially around $1.7 billion of brand new infrastructure. So two new ships, a new port in Geelong and a brand new port in Devonport. So brand new infrastructure, not to be utilised for the next 2 or 3 years, but to be utilised for the next 40 years plus.
But aren't you worried about the blowouts? Where the first expectation and then what we end up with? Are you also going to build a stadium in Hobart? Is that now going to go from 1.5 to 3 billion over the next 4 or 5 years before it's built?
Got contingency when it comes to the stadium, and again, it's very good enabling infrastructure.
Yeah.
And we need to, at times take some risk. We took a risk at political criticism where we invested in the jobs and this community, not only for the dairy but also the mine. And that risk, albeit calculated risk, has paid off. Our ships has been, very challenging. We accept that. I said I'd intervene as Premier, and I have. The wharf is near completion. The 2 new ships are around the corner, and that brand new infrastructure will deliver for Tasmanians year on, year out over the course of the next 4 decades plus, bringing our economy, visitor economy, enhanced visitor economy, opportunity for our producers to export to mainland Australia, and a very wise investment, albeit it has been very challenging.
Yeah, I can understand that to grow you have to invest, but yeah, where's the risk element? Is there? Could you invest too much and risk then too much?
Well, that depends on what the investment is. The ships are very important to Tasmania. The King Island Dairy is very important to King Island, and that's why we've supported Nick and Graham and their team with incentives and loan offerings to ensure that they are able to invest with confidence in the dairy, and they are. That's why we were approached by G6 to invest and support the mining operations. Yes, a risk, but one worth taking to secure this island economy.
Yeah.
And, we've invested on mainland Tasmania many hundreds of millions of dollars on irrigation infrastructure, which some of those schemes, no doubt, have gone over the original budget, but they are now diversified the agricultural economy, providing more opportunity for our farmers, more opportunity for rural and regional Tasmania, and no one can possibly deny that that is not a very good investment.
King Island wants to grow. King Island wants to get more tourism coming to the island. We need airlines for that, and we need airlines that fly regularly and more regularly than what we have now. Now, I know this is more a federal issue, like even building a bigger airport or whatever we're going to do, but can you see or can you think of a solution how to solve this? Because we can keep putting money into airlines to fill holes, but by the end of the day, we want to build on top of that hole to grow, isn't it? How are we going to do that?
Well, the best thing we can do is to have a very outwardly looking focus and an open mind as the opportunities that presents King Island, and the more people coming to Tasmania, coming to King Island, whether it be for, example, the wonderful produce, whether it be a tourism experience, whether that be, of course, our wonderful golfing experiences, we need to encourage that further. We need to encourage on-island production and productivity as well when it comes to our beef, as an example, and our dairy and our cheese as well. And so that is important, and then that demonstrates the need for securing airline services. But there's been a recent parliamentary inquiry into regional air services. I know and understand a number of King Islanders put submissions in and spoke to that. We'll follow that very closely. The Launceston direct to King Island has been a valuable service. We're supporting Sharp till the 31st of October this year to secure those services. Of course, we've got Rex. It's been a challenging time when it comes to regional air services, but we need to think outside the square, be open-minded. Governments have a role to play in terms of local, state and particularly federal when it comes to national aviation regional services. And so I'll be looking forward to those recommendations of that parliamentary inquiry and see where we may be able to assist the islands, of course, and where the federal government can assist as well. But securing those services are important. It's important so residents can access health services, for example, on mainland Tasmania or elsewhere, and of course products coming to the island and people coming to the island as well in terms of a consistent tourism offering.
My final question, you mentioned tough budget, tough times. Is this your toughest year in politics?
Well, no, it's not. I've had a series of difficult years in politics, but what keeps me going, good years or bad years, is making a difference for my local electorate of Braddon, of which King Island's a very important part of. And as I was meeting a number of people yesterday, I'm very proud of the resilience of King Islanders, the fact they support each other. I mean, we had a very serious drought here in the summer of 23-24. That was devastating, and I was very, very concerned about the well-being of a number of residents on the island and farmers and the agricultural beef farming productivity. The closure of the King Island dairy and the mine after starting and then having some real challenges to the point it may well have closed down again. This island, the people of King Island, in partnership with the Tasmanian government, have worked together to support our farmers in times of drought in our community, support investment and Australian investment in the King Island dairy, and support the G6 metals for sustaining their operations, continuing to invest, going underground, and doing very well indeed, employing many people on the island. And so, you know, challenges will always present itself, and in government there are challenges every single day. That's how you respond to those challenges is the key thing.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate.